Well, all right. Holy shit. I finally got my hands on the HasLab Cobra Rattler. This thing was my favorite kit as a kid. Wild Weasel was always my favorite figure back in the day. And years later, after it came out, I finally found someone that was willing to let theirs go for a reasonable price. I didn't have to sell my firstborn child. And I got my hands on one. And this thing is huge. I fucking love it. It came in a giant box. Huge box. You had to put the wings, the tails, the rear, the fuselage all together. But it comes with a shit ton of missiles and bombs, 3 figures, extra details, shit ton of stickers, highly customizable. But this thing's fucking awesome. It also is battery operated. It lights up. There's 3 different light modes. And it comes with, here's some extras. 3 patches. Unfortunately, they're not Velcro backed, so it makes it a little tougher to apply them wherever you want, on your backpack or bag or whatever. These are the decal sheets. There's 3 of them in total. One big one for not so much nose art, but like the cobra snake or warthog head, and a bunch of goofy shit. There were a couple decals on this one I actually used. I'll show you in a little bit. Some yellow and black hazard striping for some of the missiles. And then this is your main decal sheet with all the warning stickers and identification codes and all that good stuff. One of the 3 figures it comes with is Baroness. She comes in a pilot kit. I had heard that if you had taken her flight vest off, that she looked exactly like the OG Baroness from I think it was Mastiff Ice, where she had the dark blue instead of black outfit with the gold trim, but it kind of looks like it, but not 100%, not enough to leave her that way or display her that way, in my opinion. So I left her with her flight suit on, holding her helmet. The directions that it comes with suck. Typical Hasbro shit. No words, just a bunch of arrows and pictures. I mean, it's not hugely complicated, but there were some things that were a little questionable, and had to look online. Like especially the light modes were kind of confusing. Especially like I was trying to figure out how to turn them off. I kept hitting the buttons, holding the button down for 10 seconds or whatever, but the lights wouldn't shut off. I thought there was a fault or something, until I finally realized that means just let it go for 2 minutes and it'll eventually shut itself off. So if you don't speak Wingding, it might be a little confusing. The stand also is a little troublesome. You can see this flat part on top that connects these 2 parts of the stand only fits one way. It took me a while to figure that out. And if you don't get that part set correctly, this part will give you nightmares and will not hold the weight of the aircraft. You can turn these 1 or 2 ways to have the aircraft tilting down, level, or flying up, depending on what you go for, whether you use this piece or not. But I will say, once you get these 2 pieces set onto that flat piece, good luck changing it out. I had to gingerly use a flathead screwdriver to pry the parts apart to change the orientation of the aircraft. So be warned. Other than that, those are kind of the only drawbacks. There's one other that I'll show you. Where the stand connects to the aircraft. I think it's on here. Yeah, so these two central hard points for the rocket launchers. If you put this on a stand, you cannot have those two hard points are lost. You cannot put anything there as far as weaponry. So what I really like the rocket pods. So what I ended up doing was dropping these right there in the center. These two bombs. They're like I dropped them. They were the least of the things I liked. So meanwhile, back to the kit. Canopy pops open, and here's Wild Weasel. Now he does come with two different helmets, helmet and masks. This is the damaged one, because there's another panel that is optional. You can swap out to show damage, and he's also got scarring on his eye. So I really liked the look of this mask. Shows that he took some damage, but he's still going. Another awesome feature of Wild Weasel is he's got these two notepads, map pads on his thighs that real pilots use. Some of the blast and gun features. Put this on the end of the chin gun in front. I'm showing, there's another one where it shows one of these missiles in flight being launched. There's that damaged panel, which I'll come back to in a minute when I show the lighting effects. Some of the markings are already in place, like this Cobra symbol and the no steps, a couple others, but the rest are actual decals. Here's the turret gunner position. The gunner always faces forward, but the turret does rotate. It does lock into place. There's only once you put this turret ring in, there's only one position you can put it into, lock it into place, but then after that it does freely rotate 360 degrees. Again, here's some more blast effects for these guns. That clear canopy is pretty awesome. Again, there's some other decals. Again, that Z06 was already in place with the no steps. But then here's some other optional decals that I put in. And then the stand is kind of weird. It came with these pegs, these double pegs, that match up with all of the missile and bomb loads. This is a cool feature that Hasbro did employ, that where there's this front peg is much larger, this other peg is smaller, so you know your whatever you're mounting is always oriented in the right direction, so you can't put them on backwards. But why they put 4 on each side was kind of confusing at first, but then I thought, well, maybe if you put, say, your 3 unguided bomb rack more towards the center line, you could pop those bombs on those to kind of look like it's dropping a bomb load on a run. And then the base also, another kind of weird thing is you push that out or pull it from the front. It's just a little storage tray. These are where I put the bombs I didn't use, the ladder. This is the bomb sets I took off to replace the rocket pods. This is supposed to be kind of like a scatter bomblet thing. Kind of cool feature. It's clear. It got a bunch of plastic beads in there. Kind of cool, but I did like the rocket pods better. So I got all the extra bits, like Wild Weasel's undamaged helmet and mask in there, as well as Baroness's extra hair and eyeglasses and all that kind of stuff in there. So I keep it with the kit. Next, I'll show you the light features. Let's close that up. Right behind the turret is the button for the light features. And again, as soon as you press this, from the last time you press it, the lights will stay on for 2 minutes. But there are 3 modes. So the first mode, press it once, everything lights up. There's the cockpit, and not just the cockpit, but the panels on either side of Wild Weasel, and then also some running lights in front of the wings, and then you press it a second time, and now it's more danger ahead. So instead of white lights on the front of the wings, you got red. And then you press it a third time, and this is the cool one. You can see the indicator panel in the cockpit flashing danger. Here's a really cool part. That damaged panel, as long as you put it on, it allows that light to show through like part of the aircraft is on fire. Pretty fucking awesome feature. And then again, those running lights are full on red. I'll tilt this up to show the weapons payload. So we get a couple missiles here. Again, one in flight. Here's some just big ass, looks like unguided bombs. Best regards. Rocket pod, and then some other unguided bombs. Again, there's those central hard points that you lose when you put the aircraft on the stand. As far as the landing gear, the front wheel has a release, pops right out, and it drops the rear wheels as well. Here's the other big fat boy. What that looks like. Looks a little different. I really wish you didn't lose those central hard points with the stand. I don't know how else they could have done it other than maybe putting the mounting points just outside the fuselage on the inner part of the wings, so it brackets those 2 hard points. But it's a small consideration, I think, ultimately. Again, these lights will stay on for 2 minutes and then they'll automatically shut off. But damn, that looks awesome. There we go. So that's it for the Rattler. I think this thing is fucking awesome. It is huge. It is huge. I'm going to put Baroness right next to the aircraft so you can kind of get the idea of the scale. I mean, this thing's ginormous. It took up like half my bed when I was putting it together. It's got some drawbacks, obviously, but ultimately I ended up paying around $350 for this thing, which is cheap, dirt cheap compared to some other folks I've seen trying to sell this thing for. Even just the aircraft minus the figures. I got this for a steal. Again, this is from RJ Mercado. Met him on Facebook through a G.I. Joe community group. and he really hooked me up. This thing came completely sealed, still in boxes. And it came with a shit ton of boxes. That was the other kind of thing. It basically had a box inside a box, and then you opened it up, and there were 3 other boxes that you had to unbox to get all the parts. But like I said, I'm not complaining. This thing's amazing. Finally got this in my collection. I don't know if whether ultimately I'm going to put this on the stand. I really don't have anywhere to put it on the stand right now. There's not enough room. But I'm going to figure out something, maybe hang it with some fishing wire like I got some other figures, but it might take a lot of fishing wire to hang this bad lad up. But anyways, that's the Cobra Rattler. Hope you guys got some good information from this, enjoyed it. That's it. Thank you. Bye.